Today we're talking about the WUG. You know, the warm-up guy or warm-up gal that comes along after a serious relationship, the one to kind of help perhaps bridge into the real guy that's coming along. It just is always helpful if you know that the WUG is the WUG at the time. For those of you that are just newly dating again, you might be interested to research some names of things that are trending out there right now. One is situationship. I was like, well, that sounds like a cool boat. Gaslighting. Ooh, I love bonfires. Let's go. Ghosting. It's like, what's your name? Casper? Where'd you go? Breadcrumbing is another one. It's like, do we need these for a salad? Benching. Am I in a game that nobody told me I was playing? Orbiting. What galaxy am I in for real? Love bombing. It's like, well, you basically acted like I walked on water yesterday, and today you can't find my number. And my favorite of all that I've heard is ethically non-monogamous. They're ethically letting you know they're sleeping with everybody. So it's ethical. ENM. Seems like a double negative. Let's look deeper.
Hey, Steffi K got something to say. Talk that listens, clears the way. Truth on the mic, grounded in change. You sticking with that? Oh yeah, we sticking with that. Laugh it out, talk it through, we ain't looking back.
Some chats ain't easy, but we take it slow. Tough stuff, tackle now, watch us glow.
You sticking with that? Yeah, we sticking with that.
Over the years, as my friends have closed a chapter in their lives as far as a relationship, whether it's a guy or a gal, some people perceive that you need that relationship, the next relationship, to bounce back and to help you move forward. Typically, it's been called a rebound relationship. I prefer to call it the WUG, the warm-up guy, which is the guy before the guy. So whichever term you use, let's look at this a little deeper. So after the long relationship, your feelings are very raw. So the next relationship typically happens very quickly. And we are bouncing back from the loss, the pain, the frustration, all the things. And so I think instead of healing on our own first, we try to have someone help us or to ease the pain by jumping in to the next relationship. That is what we need to work on. A rebound relationship feels like maybe fast, intense, urgent. There's a lot of chemistry, less clarity. You're helping them escape something. Emotional highs following confusion. It looks like they talk about their ex often, whether positively or negatively. You're compared to the ex. They rush intimacy or commitment. Plans are short-term, not rooted. You feel slightly used, even if you're treated kindly. Has anyone ever been there? Underneath it, we have unprocessed grief, fear of being alone, a need for validation, emotional overlap with the past, and the question it answers, how do I stop hurting? Now, on the other side of that is a genuine fresh start. So for those of you who have taken time to process, to heal, to work on yourself, all the things, a genuine fresh start looks completely different. And that feels like calm, steady, grounded. Curiosity instead of urgency. You feel chosen, not needed. Safe enough to move slowly. And underneath that is closure, self-awareness, emotional availability, readiness to build something. The key question that it answers is, who do I want to grow with? Now, how do you tell the difference? Ask yourself, do I feel like a bridge or a destination? If you feel like a landing pad, it's likely a rebound or a WUG. If you feel like a chosen partner, it's likely a fresh start. Some people don't mean to be the warm-up guy or the warm-up gal. They think they're ready until their emotions catch up with them. For me, another thing is I feel like I am a love dealer. I love yous like candy. So for me, just with my background and my love for people, I'm just like, everybody, I love you, I love you, I love you. Well, on New Year's Eve, I was out with the gals, and my friend was showing frustration in her dating relationship. She'd been dating a guy for a while. They've exchanged I love yous, but now he wanted to leave and date other people. And she's like, well, why is he doing that? He told me he loved me. And that made me think twice about me handing out my I love yous. I'm not going to quit because I love people, and I personally feel like the world needs more of that. I mean, whether it's the cashier, person on the street, doesn't really matter. And if you need a hug, I'm always available for a hug. There's a difference between, I guess, I love you, and I think when we dish those out, we should be sincere at it. But there's a difference between that and I am in love with you. And that maybe is where we need to choose our words carefully and make sure that we have the right intent when we are pursuing a relationship, whatever that looks like. Something that we just maybe need to think about. I also have, I am a professional I love you dispenser. And I really do believe that we should all be. As we discussed in episode 7, which was the one about how do you like your eggs, we discussed the importance of finding yourself, loving yourself first before you try to start a new relationship after a long one. And adding to that, I strongly encourage everyone to make a list. And what I mean is write down the things that you are looking for in a partner. They could be both needs and wants. And I have all mine in one list, but I do feel that I may need to separate that between needs and wants because they're different, right? But either way, sit down and make your list. Now, my friends have teased me, I guess, over the last year about my list because it's kind of fluctuated. I just heard about the list. I sat down, started thinking about, what are the qualities and characteristics I'm looking for in another person, and it's gone up and down. But right now, today, it's at 97 qualities, I guess. And they're qualities and characteristics that I'm looking for. So they're always teasing me because they're like, that's way too many. That's way too many. You're never going to find that person. But once I started breaking down what some of them are, they kind of changed their tune, I guess you could say. So now these are 10 things from my list of 97. They're in random order. There's no set order. And they're also not my top 5. They're not even in that. That's kind of just for me to know right now. But anyway, one thing is values, considers, and protects my heart. I think that's a good one. Actions match the words. Okay? Tells the truth. So it's like when they're giving me crap, it's like, okay, you want me to that shouldn't be important? I think that's very important. Funny. I mean, some people don't care about that. I care about it a lot. You gotta make me laugh, right? An excellent communicator. That's one area that in the past has been a factor. From me, with me, to me, all the things. So it's important. Sane. Sanity seems like a natural thing, but I'm putting it down, right? Someone who gets me. Someone who gets me. I know I'm not for everybody, but I know then, therefore, how important it is that whoever spends time with me, that they get me. I heard there's a saying I have on here that it says, may you fall in love with someone who speaks your language so you don't have to spend a lifetime translating your soul. That's interesting. Let's see here. Number 8, provide safety. Safety is important. Might not be to everybody. You have your own list. To me, it is. And stimulating conversation. I want to be able to talk to the person. And the last one for today, loves this list. Someone for me is going to love my list of 97 things, right? Absolutely. And for any of us who keep repeating patterns and kind of keep choosing that same person, having a list to refer to is also going to help prevent that. And so you might actually write something down and be like, oh, okay, that's why. So it also presents a lot of clarity for you down the road, which is awesome. And remember, you're not being selfish for wanting to be treated correctly. You are absolutely spectacular, and you deserve spectacular people in your life. Remember that all day, every day. You need to ask yourself, do you want the guy that looks at other women when he's with you? Do you want the guy that hides his phone all the time? What are the things, even action-wise, that you're wanting from another person? Ask yourself, did you pick the person in the past that God sent you, or did you pick the person that was just there? You know, the one that God sends you the relationship will be easy, natural. He'll care about your feelings. He'll make sure you know that you're amazing, all the things. So you need to ask yourself, especially if you're with someone today, you know, do I feel spectacular? Now, this is also pertaining more to dating. What to do if, you know, you've been married forever and feeling those things, that's a different episode. But we're just focusing on dating today. But yeah, it should feel like a puzzle piece, right? Or like it should just light you up, any new relationship. You've been given a gift of another chance. And so you want to make sure you use that gift. Another area I want to address is bashing the other person. I would say men bashing, but I know that it goes both ways. It's like coming into this situation after being out of it for so many years, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing as a society? Why is there so much negative talk around everything? How can we flip that? Well, I believe we can flip it by our actions, by the choices we make. A lot of times we become gotcha friends, especially after someone hurts us in some way. So, you know, typically, okay, well, maybe this person ghosted me, so now I feel like ghosting the next person that comes into our life. Well, what if we stop it right there? Okay, so yes, this pain is what I felt from this relationship, but I'm going to make sure that everyone I come across in the future doesn't feel that same pain. So if we just flip it and try to do what we can to help, it stops. It can stop with us. What we say and how we say it is so important. We want to make sure we're always trying to spin it to the positive. So a few examples are like what we think and what we say happens. Okay, so if you say, my wife is going to leave me, then you think that for 20 years or 30 years, the chances are it's going to happen because you're going to choose actions that cause it to happen. Does that make sense? Or seems like I only date liars and cheaters. Yep, well, you said it. You said it, so yep. I keep attracting losers. And if that's what you want, then keep saying it. So think of how could you word it? Say, people with good intentions and good hearts find me. Or you could say, only people with good intentions and good hearts find me. Saying it in a positive way will change absolutely everything. Or you could say, I have the right partner for me, even if you don't even know a person. You say it as though it already happened, and that'll increase your chances of it happening. Just try it. You're going to be absolutely amazed. And one episode coming up, I'll do an episode on how it's changed my entire life by just switching what I say, what I believe, what I think, and how amazing things are happening. Or I have people in my life who love me as I love them. That's another thing that you could say. Too many times we give up what we really want and need for instant gratification. Isn't that the truth? That's something else to think about. So as you're going about your week, your homework for the week would be to make a list. What is it that you really want and really need? At the end of the day, we do know that all we have is all we need. All we have already is all we need. However, sometimes we desire an additional friendship or relationship to share our journey with us. And if that's the case, making a list is a great start and a great step in the right direction. I almost forgot to share the most important thing about the list. For me, I'm not able to put anything on my list unless I am also that thing. It is not fair for me to expect something of somebody else that I am not giving back in return. So keep that in mind. In my opinion, the number one reason we look for relationships that we're not ready for is loneliness, right? So I would advise you to think of what are some ways that you could offset that before it happens. If you know that at a certain time of day, maybe dinner time makes you sad because you used to have a person there and now you're eating alone, figure out what could you do. Okay, so now I'm going to sign up and take some workout classes at that time. So it's a non-issue. Joining a gym that has classes is key. Also, joining a 24-hour gym is key for me. It's kind of rerouting any perceived unhealthy habits I had and routing them into a positive thing, which like working out, bettering myself. You'd be surprised. I mean, some days I am there a couple times a day, maybe 3 on occasion, and you'd be surprised at how many of the same people are there. That's kind of weird. If you don't like the direction your life is heading in, change your actions. As we finish up today, I'd like to remind you that new episodes come out every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, always on Spotify, typically YouTube as well, and then they are also on the other main social media sites. We do still have some very exciting things coming along by way of merchandise, things I'm writing, etc., and we'll let you know more about that as we continue to go. Hope to do also some more remote locations for those of you that can watch by video, as it's just fun. So I'll do it as much as I can. For your Steffi K thought of the day, I do want to remind everyone to make sure that you're looking into taking your 2 whole cloves a day. And for those of you that have started that, I'd be curious down the road to see the health benefits that you see, how much better you feel, and all the stuff. The advice that I'd given on another episode, you could either, kind of put them in your mouth and suck on them like a breath mint for 20 minutes and swallow them, or sometimes I just chew them and swallow them throughout the day. That's not medical advice. It's just life advice that will help you along the way. Getting back to relationships in our episode here today, we need to sometimes just say, I am the problem. I'm the problem. And what can I do to fix things around me? The relationships I have, the friendships I have, what are some things that I can do differently starting today? What choices can I make? Is that an easy thing? Nope, not at all. It actually sucks. But I think sometimes it just comes out saying, okay, yep, I am the problem and I'm going to fix it. And I think that's another way that we can help turn this whole thing around. If you have a friend who would benefit from this episode, please share it, pass it on. And if you're reflecting more and thinking about situations a little differently and it's helping you, I'd love to hear your success stories. You can email me at youstickinwiththat.com. Nope. That's the website. You can email me at youstickinwiththat@gmail.com. Either way, you can find the information that you need. So excited for next week's episode and have an amazing, amazing week. Love you all.